I was waiting in line at the post office, and this lady turns around and goes, "Oh, I'm from Chicago. Are you from Chicago?" And I'm like, and I'm wearing a Dodger jersey and a Dodger hat. And she goes, "I'm a Cubs fan." And I said, "No, I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm from Los Angeles." What the fuck is wrong with you? Coming to you free tape from the Best Coast Show studios. This is the Best Coast Show. I'm your host, Albert Aguilera. That's my producer, Curtis Sage. Curtis, is Don Matingly still coaching the Dodgers?
It sure feels like it sometimes.
I know, right?
Although I like Dave Roberts a hell of a lot better. But there was some questionable... I don't think Roberts maybe looked back through the tapes in previous years because they seem to have a Groundhog Day situation.
What's the expression? Those who choose to ignore history are doomed to repeat it? Something like that?
Yeah. So today, fans, we have a Dodgers episode, a Kings episode, and a Rams episode. There's a combo episode.
No combo episode. Dodgers only. I understand that the Kings start tonight.
We got Kings?
I understand that the Kings start tonight, but the Kings game tonight I believe they're in San Jose, is not as important as the game in Washington for Game 5.
So opening in the NHL season, which you will probably be wearing your jersey tonight.
I'm psyched. I'm going to be wearing my jersey tonight because Dodgers don't play tonight. I'll be wearing my jersey, like wherever it is I am, yelling at the television.
So no Kings talk today.
No Kings talk today.
Okay.
No Rams talk today, even though they lost.
Yeah.
And that's kind of upsetting because they were a bunch of jackasses that committed way too many penalties and turnovers. But I was just raging yesterday. So
let's do a rundown and then we'll get to your
Dodgers
rage.
only today. Only Dodgers today.
Let's do the rundown. So of course the NLDS is tied 2-2 with Washington, and we are going back to Washington. We've got Hill versus Scherzer on the mound, so that's going to be interesting. We got to talk about that. Why not Urias? Why is he going to be pitching? Is he going to start? Is he not going to start? We need to talk about that. What happened to our bats? They suddenly cooled off. It is playoff time. Pitching does usually kind of have an advantage over bats. Nerd baseball strikes again, possibly. And, of course, Kershaw's curse. We think there's a curse.
There's a curse.
There's a curse.
I'm convinced that there's a curse.
Albert thinks there's a curse.
I'm convinced there's a curse. I'm convinced that somewhere down the line, Clayton Kershaw, being the amazing human being that he is, was like down in a third world country helping build schools and churches and stuff, and he accidentally offended like a gypsy lady, and the gypsy lady got upset, and she went home and like sacrificed some kind of farm animal, and that's why Clayton Kershaw has so much difficulty getting out of the seventh inning, and it doesn't help. Where's Pedro Baez from? Has Clayton Kershaw ever gone to whatever country?
Dominican, probably.
Has he ever gone there? Because maybe the gypsy lady is Dominican. I'm assuming Pedro Baez is Dominican. I don't know. But maybe he went to the Dominican Republic to help build schools, offended a gypsy lady there, and cursed him by having Pedro Baez on the team.
And forever, Pedro Baez will always have to pitch in that inning.
Will be linked to Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, always.
Because he was almost out of that inning, okay?
He
was almost out of that inning. The umpire pinched him twice. Corey Seager should have made that force out at second, or at least, it could have gone to first base.
Yeah.
These little intangible nonsense things are not like Clayton's getting shelled.
Yeah, it wasn't like he got hit hard.
No.
I mean, look, Kershaw. Okay, look, guys, again. I mean, I was having a meltdown yesterday. So were you. I know we were both having meltdowns. I was losing my mind.
Up by three. I was still...
Dave even asked me when the seventh inning started, he's like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "No, because we're up by 3. We got Kershaw on the mound, and Kershaw rarely gives up more than 2 or 3 runs in a game, except for in the playoffs. But I think he's past it." And so I wasn't. And as soon as I said that,
he doesn't give them up. They are charged to him, but he doesn't give them up.
It's the bullpen.
In his playoff career, he's left 14 runners on base when he leaves the game.
Which is unlike him.
The bullpen has given up 9 of those 14.
Yeah. I mean, listen, fans were getting crazy. There were some people who were saying, why wasn't Blanton in to start the 7th inning, which I was kind of one of them. I mean, look, I love Clayton Kershaw. I love him.
Okay, yeah.
He's the best pitcher.
Monday morning quarterback, retrospect, always. Hindsight is 20/20, always. I agree.
And Blanton is on fire.
Blanton is the best bullpen pitcher we have at the moment, then Jansen.
Yes.
Okay. And Pedro Baez, all right, listen, guys, if you tune into the show regularly, you know that I am the only person on the internet, of the bloggers, of the fans, of the anything, that has defended Pedro Baez. Pedro Baez is a fantastic, and yeah, I did say fantastic, you're not hearing me wrong, fantastic relief pitcher in a clean inning, in a non-pressure situation. When he comes in to start an inning, Pedro Baez is pretty goddamn reliable.
ERA under 2.
Yeah, pretty goddamn reliable. But we've always said that when Pedro Baez comes in a pressure situation or comes in when there's runners on base, he's going to give it up.
And he has done that in the playoffs for 3 straight years.
He threw to one hitter and hit him and walked in a run.
He had one job.
And it's like, that's when everyone was like, oh, fuck, it's happening again.
And it did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's
it's infuriating. That's why it's like, I'm sorry, is Don Matingly still in the dugout somewhere? Why the fuck would you do this?
So why bring in Baez instead of Blanton in that situation? Yeah.
And Blanton was the fourth pitcher in that inning. Kershaw, Baez, God knows who else, and then Blanton. Avalon, and then fucking Blanton. And Blanton...
He comes in and he's like, strike out.
Yeah, and he went, an inning and a third total?
Yeah.
And he was fucking perfect.
Look, first of all, let's rewind back to Joe Blanton for a second, because who would have thought... I certainly
Not
didn't.
me. We're talking shit about Joe Blanton when we picked him up.
Totally. Who would have thought this guy? But he is got an attitude out on the mound. He's balls out. The guy has
this does
total
happen to
swagger.
Happens to a lot of starting pitchers though when they lose their starting pitcherism because they can't go in 9 innings.
Pitcherism? Is that a word?
Pitcherism, that's a new word. Trademark.
Okay.
When they can't go in 9 innings anymore, like look at John Smoltz. John Smoltz was a fantastic starting pitcher.
Sure.
And he
Hall of
eventually
Famer.
lost it. Yeah. And then was like, you know what? I'm going to be a closer. And he was a very dominant closer.
He was.
And Joe Blanton was a good pitcher. He won a World Series with the fucking Phillies.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are like 2008, 2009 Phillies version 2.0 at the moment.
Yeah.
But now that he's coming in as a relief pitcher, he's coming in. He's got to do it for 1 inning, maybe 2. Mm-hmm. And he's set. He's solid.
He's found his spot, and he's got a swagger out on the mound, like I just said. I feel confident when he comes in now.
Yeah.
And all season we've watched Blanton do this, and he's amazing. And also, and every Dodger fan out there knows, and Roberts has to know at this point, that just like what you said, you bring Baez in a non-pressure situation, totally fine. He maybe gives up a dinger. It's cool.
It goes back to nerd baseball. Now,
so you think the nerds were calling down?
I am not a fan of it. Okay, it based on everything that has happened this year with injuries and having like 30 people on the disabled list, it has worked. I think that because nerd baseball is statistics on statistics, long term, it's going to work.
Yeah.
It showed that over the course of 162 games with absolutely no one to play for you, nerd baseball worked.
Yes.
Does nerd baseball work game to game?
Well, because it doesn't measure
player
heart.
to player.
It doesn't measure intangibles.
It does not measure intangibles. That's why it doesn't work. Because
guts.
Exactly.
It doesn't measure those things.
It doesn't measure that shit. It doesn't measure that someone may fall under pressure. It doesn't measure intangibles. It doesn't measure that Pedro Baez can't do shit with runners on. It doesn't measure. It's like, okay, it's a fucking number on a piece of paper. That's fucking great. But it doesn't work when intangibles, when you factor in that Corey Seager should have made that play at shortstop. That's an intangible. When you factor in the human element of a fucking umpire that's pinching you, that's an intangible. That's a tough one.
But here's the other thing, though. Let me say this, though.
Wait, going back real quick. Okay. Going back to the fucking umpire. You know what they had at the end of that fucking game written in the clubhouse whiteboard?
What?
The umpires lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there was a terrible calls.
And I'm pretty sure that the Dodgers pay someone a lot of money to bring up stats and advanced stats on umpires. I'm sure they do. Mm-hmm. But the human element cannot be thrown into statistics. It can't. And that's what fucked them. I knew it. You knew it. My grandmother knew it.
Yeah.
All of you guys at home and all you guys at work in the bathroom listening to us
in the bathroom.
Pedro Baez should not have been in the game in that situation.
And that's just because, okay, there's been a pattern set up. Now listen, all season long, Dave Roberts has magnificently, in my opinion, managed this team.
Has he?
I think he has.
Rich Hill said he didn't. Rich Hill said it's the front office.
I think he has managed the team really well. He's set these guys up for this time period. Look, he's counting on Baez to do his job. This is what Baez has done all year long. Come in that situation, or come in that inning.
Do you think Dave Roberts is like, okay, all right, Baez, you're the man. Let's do this. Or is he like, okay, statistics show, okay,
against a righty,
he's like a fucking quarterback in the NFL who, in between snaps, looks at the wristband and goes, okay, based on this, I should be doing this.
I didn't see an earpiece. I didn't see any. I mean, he does have his little notebook there, and those things are going to play into it. Dave Roberts,
in the history of Major League Baseball professionally as a sport has been around since 1880.
Yeah.
That is, 135, 140 years almost?
And he hasn't been coaching since then.
No, he hasn't. But no manager in the history of this sport has swapped out pitchers as many times as he did this year. He's a first-year manager.
Are we one game away from the National League Championship?
We are.
So I think he's done something right.
But nerd baseball over the course of a season works.
But you're talking about in these
I'm
pressure
talking about
situations.
in these pressure situations. I'm talking about in a short series. This shit may not work because you don't have a month to do something.
Well, then statistics say you take Kershaw out at the start of the 7th inning. Statistics are going to tell you that he's run out of gas. Dusty Baker after the game said, we knew Kershaw was out of gas. They knew Kershaw was out of gas, and we struck. We got him. And that's the thing.
Dusty Baker's full of shit. Dusty Baker is playing up to the media right there going, yeah, I knew what I was doing. Fuck you.
It's rare. Well, Dusty's good.
I'm sorry. This is the manager who had the World Series in his pocket and was like, hey, Ortiz, we got this for you.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, I mean, I feel, listen, it's like Groundhog Day. I feel like I'm reliving this every year now. Literally, I mean, luckily we won the game. So we won the game and Kershaw's off the hook. But what does this do to Kershaw's legacy? I mean, it hasn't been written yet. The final, we haven't finalized his legacy.
Here's the thing. You have jackass media people, and here's what pisses me off about national broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
You idiots that are broadcasting this game don't watch him pitch every night, and you don't watch my team play every night.
No.
You're making ambiguous, vague statements, so it sounds like you know what you're talking about.
It drives me crazy.
The one reason Vince Scully is the greatest of all time and is better than anybody else is because Vince Scully talked about the game and stories about the players and not about how, well, it's my opinion that blah, 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 because I don't follow this team, and I'm reading off of a cue card and my producer's in my ear.
Yeah, they have no idea.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, I can't blame Kershaw for wanting the ball in the first place.
They're trying to tarnish his legacy. And then every fucking ESPN, every fucking ESPN account and what is it? What is that?
MLB TV.
What is SB Nation and all those motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Every tweet they post out, Bumgarner this ERA, Kershaw this ERA.
Yeah.
Bumgarner this, Kershaw this.
Yeah.
Well, again, how many of these runs? And I'm not defending Clayton Kershaw because he's a Dodger.
He is putting people on base.
I'm defending him because it's a matter of fact that these runs he's not giving up. He's not giving it up. His fucking bullpen is.
Okay. And
Pedro Baez is.
It is true. I mean, I think there's a case to be made on both sides. Like you said, there's something when he gets to this. He was fine until he got to the 7th inning. He got through the first inning. He, typical Kershaw, gives up 2 runs or less, and then you get to that 7th inning in the playoffs.
Human element. How many times did he strike Harper out in that at bat? At least twice.
Yeah. And he had 11 strikeouts. I mean, Kershaw looked great.
He looked fucking great.
He looked great on fumes. So Kershaw, people forget that. He's on 3 days rest
and
on
he
fumes.
threw, 112 pitches or something?
112 pitches, the most he's thrown in 2 months. He was, of course, we love him. So, and the thing is, Dodger fans expect Kershaw to pitch a no-hitter every time he goes out there.
We've talked about it before. It's not fair to him that he gets compared to himself. Yeah. He lives in his own shadow.
Yeah.
Why
aren't you as good as you are in the regular season?
Bumgarner that. It's like, go fuck yourself. Bumgarner's ERA is literally twice that of Kershaw's. Literally twice.
Well, a case could be made that Bumgarner comes up big in playoff
situations.
He does,
absolutely.
So he's
absolutely.
clutch.
But whether it be Bumgarner or Lester or Scherzer or any other pitcher, show me the fucking run support they get versus the run support fucking Clayton Kershaw gets.
True, but we scored 5 runs for him. I mean, we did score
Not
5.
for him, no. Did we? Yeah, it was 5 because we won 6-5.
Yeah, we scored 5 runs. So, I mean, usually he wins. Okay, look, during the season, he wins any game that we score 5 runs. It's very rare that Kershaw loses a game where we score 5 runs. Normally, we only score 1 or 2 runs for him.
I mean, going into this game, Dodger favored -227.
Yeah, well, we won, and it was...
I'm still pissed off. Everyone's all like, dude, you're all like angry right now.
I'm pissed.
Your team won. And I'm like, yeah, Nerd Baseball almost fucking cost us the season.
Okay, so what about next game? Game 5, back in Washington. We've got Hill versus Scherzer.
Rich Hill, he's peeing on his hands right now. Rich Hill is peeing on his hands right now.
So we were right.
Yeah,
I was right. I told you.
He's somewhere.
You doubted me.
You doubted me. Well, I didn't doubt you. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was disgusting.
Disgusting.
It was disgusting.
But I'm telling you, I know that, and I like how somebody brought up that Moises Alou on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, some guy on Twitter was like, he wasn't like some poor Latin American player.
We know that. You were just generalizing.
Yeah, I was just generalizing, and I guess he's not like, he doesn't tune into our show enough to understand that we're a bunch of facetious dicks.
But it was.
I'm pretty sure that Moises Alou grew up rich. I'm pretty positive Moises Alou grew up fucking rich.
He grew up in dugouts.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
But the thing is, you were just talking about that in general, players that come from those areas.
A lot
find different ways.
A lot of people can't pick up on tone and sarcasm.
But anyways, Rich Hill blisters, we don't know. But I will tell you this: he's never gone on short rest. Not only in a playoff game like Kershaw has every year.
He's an adult. He's a professional.
I'm just saying what he's never done before.
Who cares?
He's pitching the biggest game of the year.
Who cares?
On short rest.
He's got this.
Really?
He's a professional.
Okay.
I have more confidence in Rich Hill going out there than Julio Urias.
Why?
Because Rich Hill's an adult. Rich Hill has pitched.
Urias is an adult.
No, he's not. Okay? Rich Hill has pitched in front of 50,000 people many, many times. Yeah, and then everyone online is like, oh, Julio should go game 4 so we can save Kershaw for game 5 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, stupid, you have to win game 4 to get to game 5.
Yeah.
Hey, let's save the best pitcher on the planet and possibly not use him.
Well, maybe the idea was we put Urias in for game 4, start him off, and if Kershaw needs to come in and finish it.
At that point, it's too late. If you have to pull Julio 2-3 innings in, it's because he's getting wrecked.
Listen. I would have confidence. Look, this is when you throw the 20-year-old into it and see what he's made of. This is it. He's our pitcher of the future.
Right. Okay. But Rich Hill's already going to do it. But this is what I'm the Dodgers organization. This is what I do. Not today because today's Yom Kippur. But I get Sandy Koufax on the phone once the sun goes down, and I say, Sandy, you need to talk to this kid. So somewhere in Washington, Sandy Koufax is having lunch with Julio, and even though Sandy doesn't speak Spanish and Julio doesn't speak English, through the magic of baseball, he's gonna be like, listen, son, this is where your legacy is gonna happen. This is where the legend and lore of Julio starts.
Listen, he's going to pitch in Game 5 because our relief staff is taxed at this point. So is Washington's. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like the Nationals can trot out anybody they want to.
But that's the thing I don't want either. I don't want Julio coming out of the bullpen unless it's a clean inning.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you throw Rich
Hill
for 4 or 5 innings.
Can give me, 4 or 5 innings of clean baseball, maybe give up 1 or 2 runs. I'm okay with it.
6th and 7th. You bring in Julio, and he's going to – I think that's going to throw National hitters off. They haven't seen him.
No.
They don't know what he's like. And his stuff, I mean, Rich Hill pitched really well in the last game.
Talk about us being shitty against lefties. The Nationals can't hit lefties either.
Exactly. I would be very
And this is a lefty they've never seen.
This is a lefty they've never seen, and he's got wicked stuff that we've seen all year long. And
he's had a better ERA and more strikeouts since Kershaw came back from the DL.
This is what I'm saying.
And I agree. Statistically, he is there. And if it were, hey, we need a starter on Friday or Thursday against the Nationals in the regular season, I'd be like, hell yeah, throw Julio in there. Yeah. Game 5, a must-win game.
Do you think that it would be too much pressure for a 20-year-old?
I think so. And that's not even so much that it's a lot of pressure. It's like you're just not experienced in this situation.
Or maybe he wouldn't know the difference. And it wouldn't be in his head.
That could be it. I mean, he's too young enough to not know the difference.
You start him off now. See, when Kershaw started with the Dodgers, he didn't have this opportunity to get thrown into the fire.
Yeah, because we sucked and weren't making the playoffs when him and Billingsley came up.
In the last 4 years, all of it has been on Kershaw. But what if Urias starts this Game 5 and he's lights out? We've got that in his head now. We got that in our back pocket for the next 5 years.
Or we can save that, let Rich Hill pitch like he's supposed to, and then throw Julio out against the Cubs and have him wreck the Cubs. I'm convinced that we're going to steamroll the Cubs because they also have a gypsy curse.
They have a goat curse. They have a lot of curses.
Their whole team is cursed. On our team, it's only Kershaw.
Although they did knock out the Giants, which was fucking beautiful.
Even year bullshit.
So beautiful.
Oh my
It was
God.
so great to see that happen in their Big Glove Stadium. I don't even like calling it what it's called. Just Big Glove Stadium. It's so great to see that happen.
I always refer to it as the Coca-Cola thing.
Well, there's the big mitt out there. Like, why do they have that?
They have you know what they have up there, though? They have the old school PlayStation 1 logo in their outfield as an advertisement.
Listen, I love the stadium. It's beautiful. I just hate the team. So
I hate the city. The city's
no,
disgusting.
I like the city.
The city's
I like
disgusting.
the city. You don't like the city?
No, the city's
kind of
disgusting.
smells a little wharfy.
No, there's just like crackheads, hookers, and bums everywhere. And I'm not even saying that
but
jokingly.
You usually like that.
But no. Hookers and escorts are two different things. Two different
escorts.
things. Two different things.
All right.
High class establishments.
Do you have any escorts going with you to London? By the way, do you guys know that
Why would you take them with you?
I mean, meeting up with you.
Hello.
I'm taking you in.
What?
Meeting up with you in London. Do you have any escorts meeting up with you in London? So you got a special lady friend?
No, that's weird.
Oh, I don't know. Just asking. I mean, you're single.
I have friends. I have friends out there that I am interacting with.
I have to know. All the married fans out there have to know.
I have to try and live vicariously through me. That's why people follow me on Snapchat.
Yeah.
But no, while I'm out in London, it turns out that a lot of my coworkers are going to be out there because of the Rams-Giants game.
Yeah.
I'll be meeting with Rams fans while I'm out there. I do have friends out in London that I'm going to be interacting with and hanging out with.
Interacting with.
Air quotes. But yeah, no, I've never been out there, so like I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting to see you in London. I can't wait to see all the footage.
Oh, well, we have an American flag desk here. I bought a bunch of American flag little itty bitty flags.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna plant them.
Oh, perfect. And are you gonna tape that? Are you gonna?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Because I'm vlogging all of it, so everywhere I go, I'm just going boop America.
Exactly.
Boop America. Yeah, but my friend Boomski is gonna be touring me around.
Very nice. Do we have to worry about? So you say no Urias pitching starting Game 5. You say Rich Hill has to start Game 5. Baby. And then maybe in the 6th inning, Urias comes in 6th and 7th.
And then
Blanton in the 8th.
What we have to make sure doesn't happen again is having Justin Turner, the Major League Baseball all-time postseason batting average leader, bunting.
What the fuck was that?
Well, I don't know what the fuck that was.
Was he trying?
That's why I was like, is Don again? I was like, questionable pitching matchups, and we're bunting. Where's Don Matingly?
I think everybody lost their mind when he bunted, but maybe the infield was playing really deep. So I think he just was like trying to switch it up a little bit. Like, hey, I can lay this down.
He bunted the ball in front of the catcher.
Well, it was just a bad bunt.
He didn't even bunt it down the line. It's like, dude, you're hitting fucking 500 career in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're hitting 485, and I understand it's a small sample size, so it's only 4 games. But right now you're currently on fire. You're hitting 485. Swing the fucking bat.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, JT is not. I don't think I've ever seen him bunt.
I've never seen Ginger Jesus bunt either.
Ginger
Jesus.
All right. What about the rest of the bats?
I think Ginger Jesus sounds better than a lot of the Twitter hashtags. El Rojo Chingon, and I get it.
Yeah.
We're Mexican. I'm Mexican. We're in LA. But El Rojo Chingon sounds way too long. And it's way too long of a hashtag.
I can't even say that.
You can't even say it. No. And it's way too long of a hashtag. I mean, you just learned how to say Urias.
Yeah.
Not to get you to say El Rojo Chingon.
I can't say that.
Way too long of a hashtag. Too many characters. Hashtag Ginger Jesus.
That's a good one.
Ginger Jesus.
So what about the rest of the bats? Turner's been hitting. I love that Ethier comes in. He's had 25 at-bats the whole season. Mr. Clutch comes in, gets that base hit. It was
and
so
Chase
awesome.
Utley, baby.
You know, Utley's been struggling, but when they've need key plays, not just hits, he's been making the key plays.
You know where you don't see that? In the statistics.
No, you don't see that.
You don't. Clutch is not measured by statistics.
No. But we're missing Corey Seager's fantastic in the first inning, but after that
disappears. He's batting $167 in these 4 games.
So we need to see him in Game 5 go 4 for 4. We win this game if Seager goes 3 for 4 or 4 for 4.
He's our MVP. He needs to act like it.
And Agon, our butter and eggs man, is he had a couple hits in the last game, but none of them been. He had the home run, which was great. But we need him to heat up right now. It needs to happen in Game 5. This is everybody else. If Seager and Turner and Gonzalez are all hit in Game 5, we win this game.
Max Scherzer's no slouch. I mean, you're going to go up against the possible Cy Young winner.
But they hit him in Game 1. They played well against him in Game 1.
Turner and Seager hit him in Game 1. No one else did.
Yeah.
I think Max Scherzer's going to have a typical Max Scherzer game where he hits you for 7 1/3, or has a perfect game going through 7 1/3, and then he just unravels in the 8th inning.
Well, I don't think they'll leave. Dusty won't leave him in there. He'll pull out and go to his bullpen.
He's going to walk out there and be like, come on, Max, we got this for you. And then that's when they lose?
I don't know. Scherzer said this is the biggest game of his life. No shit. It is the biggest game of his life. So,
is it?
Is it?
Maybe like this Thursday, but I'm sure he's pitched in bigger games. I hate when athletes say that. Like, this is the biggest game of my life. No, you've been in bigger games.
Yeah.
This is important, yeah.
It's an important game.
It's important, but is it the biggest?
So is it Rich Hill's biggest game?
I would say so. I don't remember Rich Hill ever being in an elimination game as a starting pitcher. No.
All right. What's our gift of the day?
All right, guys. Our gift of the day, this is Clayton Kershaw in the dugout after being pulled, and Baez comes in and hits the very first batter and only batter he faces, and Kershaw just drops his head and goes, oh, dear God, it's happening again. It's happening again. And he's just wondering. He's just looking back, wondering who that gypsy lady is and how he got cursed. It's the Kershaw Curse.
Oh.
I had a tweet like locked and loaded and ready to go with 2 outs, and
Curse over.
Curse over.
Yeah.
He has overcome. The demons have been exorcised. And you know what though? I think because I had it locked and loaded, and I was on the fucking button ready to tweet.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh shit. Okay, I'm putting you in my drafts.
That might come out in the next series.
Against the Cubs?
Maybe you bring it back in the next series. Curse over. He pitches a no-hitter against the Cubs.
That would be awesome.
To go to the World Series.
But listen, Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling are two of the greatest playoff pitchers ever because of a series that they had. But if you look at Randy Johnson, not so much. You look at Randy Johnson's career postseason history, he's awful. He had the 1 year with Arizona, and that's all it takes. It takes 1 year of you being godlike in the postseason for everyone to assume that you're godlike.
Yeah.
But
we'll get there.
We'll get there. Kershaw
there.
will get there. I believe in him.
I have faith still.
I have faith. All right, guys, that's been our episode. Don't forget to stalk us on the Twitter at Best Coast Show. Oh, our website. We have a website now.
Oh, yeah, website.
Since our last episode, we've launched our website. You guys can go to our website. It's www.bestcoastshow.com.
We got articles.
We have articles.
We got writing.
Guys, we hired writers to write articles for our website. And if you guys want to write for our website and you want us to pay you like actual money, we will pay you US dollars. Or if you want, I can bring you British pounds back from England, but I don't know what you would do with them. But yeah, we're gonna pay you guys all the bullshit that you do for free on the internet for other people. You can get paid if you do it for us. Because Curtis and I work in the entertainment industry, so we understand and we value people.
People need to get paid, yeah.
We value people's work, and we understand that content creators need to be paid. So we will pay you for your content that you create for us. So if you're interested, hit us up on the Twitter, or you can email us, bestcoastshow@gmail.com. What's our new email?
I think that's it.
Is it? Okay, bestcoastshow@gmail.com. You can hit us on Twitter at bestcoastshow. That's been our show.
Albert, don't forget about iTunes.
Guys, yeah, that's right. Don't forget the podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever podcasts are heard. But that's been our show, and you guys have a good night.